Hello, welcome back. I'm Issa. I'm Isabella Draws. You knew that already. Maybe you didn't, but now you know. One of you guys had the silly goofy idea to have me do a drawing with every single colored pencil I own. I did the math. Look at me doing math. I did the math, and guess how many I own? 1,984 colored pencils is how many colored pencils I own. And that's not counting like the singles I bought, so... Anyways, yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. So, as you can see, colored pencils. All my Derwent ones are here. The ones that I use mostly are here. And then here are my cheaper ones. But that does not include the ones that are over here in these drawers. And some of them are completely full. And here, and here, and there. We've got quite a bit of work cut out for us, don't we? Now you may be thinking, that's a lot of colored pencils. How are we gonna fit those all on one sheet of paper? We're not. We're fitting them on 2 sheets of paper. That right there, friends, is 2 18 by 24 sheets of Strathmore mixed media tone tan paper taped together. The tape is on the back, but I sketched on the paper once they were taped together. This photo right here is a photo I'm going to be drawing. It is me just looking at the camera like this. I'm going to make the colors a little bit funky because obviously we've got an entire gamut of colors to work with, and I'm very excited, so let's jump right into it. Wait a minute, before we do that though, I want to give full credit to Super Ray Dizzle and Sarah Renee Clark for inspiring this video. The links to their videos that inspired this video will be down in the description below. Okay, now let's actually get right into it. Alright, I'm going to be using the super cheap colored pencils last so that we can build up a nice base, and we know that the cheap colored pencils are very waxy, so you can't really work on top of those. The first set of colored pencils that we're going to start with are these. They're from Castle Arts, and there's 120 colors. I don't exactly know how I'm going to be able to verify that I used every single one because I'm not putting them all in a bin like Super Ray Dizzle did because I do not feel like cleaning that up. So what we're going to do is, I think I'm just going to go in order, like across the rows of colored pencils, and just use them like that. But also don't get too mad at me if I go off track because I'm an artist and that's what I do. And that's it for the Castle Arts pencils. 120 pencils led to this. Alright, so the next brand we're going to do are these Speer Farben colored pencils. There are, well, what I was going to say is there are 72 of them, and I'm going to use them now, so let's go. Now that this set of pencils is done, I think I've made the executive decision to not use any of the repeated pencils in any of my sets. So I know I have like several of the same set of Derwent pencils, but I'm only going to be using one of those just to save myself my sanity. Anyways, this is what she looks like right now. Not a lot of blending going on in the skin yet because I'm trying to build up the layers and use up the colors. Alright, so the next colored pencils I'm using are these ones from Bic Kids that I got while I was in France. And there's only 18 of them, so I'm gonna have a nice time with these. So that's it for these bad boys. They didn't make much of a difference, but that's okay because the next ones definitely will. These are the Arteza 120 set of colored pencils, and with them, I'm going to start on this eye and this section of the face right over here. That does not mean that this section is done. It just means that I'm going to be using my Prismacolors to blend it all out smooth once I get to the Prismacolor section. Right now, I just want to work on that section. Well, that's it for the Arteza colored pencils. Next, we're probably going to use Caran d'Ache because there's not that many of those and I'm kind of tired. Hi, as you can tell, it is the next day because it was like 2:30 in the morning and I was tired. So, welcome back. Yeah, we're going to use the next set of pencils now. These are the Caran d'Ache Luminance colored pencils and I will be using them for the next section. So that's it for those. There's the growing pile of pencils we've already used. Like I mentioned before, since we are not using duplicates, we'll not be using any of the ones that I'm showing right here because they are all duplicates that I keep as spares. So next up we've got Crayolas. These Colors of the World pencils can be found in the 100 pack, so we are not going to be using those, but we're going to be using every single pencil in this pack. The next pack we are using are the Derwent 72 Chroma Flow colored pencils. This begins my trek to finish the Derwent ones. There are a lot of duplicates in there, so I won't be using every single tin, but I will be using the majority of them. The next ones I'm using are the Derwent Light Fast colored pencils, and there's 100 of them, so let's get right into it. Now we've got 3 boxes of colored pencils left: Prismacolor, Derwent Pro Color, and Derwent Color Soft. I'm just gonna go ahead and do all of these at the same time because I'm going insane basically. Actually, it turns out I haven't even opened these. They're like still in the plastic, as you can see, and I think it would be better to donate them than to open them just for this video, so that's what I'm gonna do for these instead. I've got Prismacolors. This is my last box of pencils, and I'm using them last because they're my favorite, and since they're very soft core, I think they're going to blend everything out. It's been a long past 24 hours, but before I share the final drawing with you guys, I want to share with you guys what I've learned from this experience. Number one, first and foremost, obviously I have too many colored pencils, so I'm going to be donating a ton to my middle school because I feel like they would get more use out of them than I do. I barely touch any of the ones that I don't use regularly. Number two, I don't like the waxy colored pencils. I really prefer the ones that have more pigment instead of more filler because they blend better, they're more pigmented, and they're easier to work with. So for example, my least favorite colored pencils to work with in this drawing the entire time were the Arteza ones because they were so waxy and had so much filler and just not enough pigment. My favorite ones, however, were the Derwent Color Soft, Derwent Light Fast, and of course, Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. I just want to say thank you so much for watching and enjoy the final drawing. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.